Hi, this is Kyle Postlethwaite, aka Malcare, here at Big Kitty Games. Just going to cover some of the basic concepts of Solace crafting and do a quick run through of how to get started. One of the most important concepts is that difficulty is based on your distance from the start. We start over there. This purple crystal is called a Solace. That's our starting Solace where we begin. And we can tell because right now I'm at 0.06 kilometers. This means from the start. So I'm only about 60 meters away from where I started. That means that I'm actually in level 0 territory. So this earth elemental here is going to have a hard time hitting me, and if he does, he's only going to hit me for about 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Not a lot of damage. He's actually the minimum level of 0.5. I am a level 2 squire, so I've got some armor and skills and attributes leveled up. This here is a teleporter, and this is going to teleport me 5 kilometers to the west. I went to the north and I ended up in that lake, so I'm not going to go that way. And we'll see that what that does is 5 kilometers away from the start. Now I'm going to be in level 5 territory. So you can see I'm at 4.99 kilometers from the start. So if I can get this guy to hit me, we'll find out he's a little bigger, and he hits me for a lot more damage. You'll also find that the resources out in this area are of a higher tier. You'll have a better chance at getting rare resources. You'll see there's points of interest spawning out here, so on and so forth. So now I've started a new game. I got a brand new character. I don't have any clothes, I don't have any tools, I've got nothing on me. So the first thing we're definitely going to want to do is to go harvesting so that we can start crafting. I'm going to take a swing at that, and I'm going to get 1, maybe 2 stone. And it's going to take about 3 seconds to cool down. Not very nice. As soon as I get 8 stone, or if I take it from the starter Solace there, it moves it up a little bit. So I'm now... Oh, and there I got some rare stone. I'm getting 2 or 3 per swing, but that's still pretty horrible. This is still the worst possible tool that actually even exists in the game. And we do get a bonus for finishing the last swing there. So I got about 43. Oh, actually I got an uncommon and a rare. That was pretty lucky. I got 43 stone from that, and I also got 4.3 out of the 5 experience I need to level up. And that's really what we want to do here. Probably only a few swings here and I'll level up. There we go. Leveled up quarrying. So now I'm going to go to my skills, go to harvesting, and go to quarrying. And here I've got quarrying strength, which is just going to give me straight up bonus to my base quarrying strength. I can do speed, which is only 1%. Doesn't sound like a lot at level 1, but you start adding it up over the levels and it can be very beneficial. What I really want to start out with though here is the strong hit. This is going to give me a one-time hit of +4 strength at the cost of 2.5 energy, and it's got a 10-second cooldown. So now I do a basic hit for 3. If I use my strong hit, well actually I clear it there so I even got an extra bonus, but it's going to hit it for a lot better. So now I've got enough stone to create a forge. This is going to be the start of metal. So I'm going to go ahead and make one of those. So this is our starter platform, and we actually really don't want to build on top of this for our base, because eventually we're going to want to upgrade this Solace, which is going to trigger monsters that are going to come and attack it. And if we've got tables and walls and stuff in the way here, it's going to be a lot more difficult to defend. So we don't really want to get everything set up on it, but for now I can just put the forge down here so you can see it, because I can pick it back up and I can just put it back down whenever I want to, as long as there's nothing inside. So I need ore and timber, and it's going to use 1 timber per stack of ore that I feed it. Okay, so I've got some timber and some ore, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in here. I only need 1. That's a right click I can do to just place 1 out of a stack. And I only need 1 to smelt per stack, so there we go, I got 37 metal. Now what we're trying to do is to create some metal tools. What I'm going to need though for that is a smithing station. So we're going to want to look at the smithing station. It's going to need 20 metal and 10 lumber. Now what I'm harvesting off of these trees is actually timber. This is unprocessed wood. It can be processed into lumber at a sawing station. So I'm going to want a woodworking sawing station. This guy needs 20 timber and 10 metal, which I do have. So now I've got a sawing station. I can go ahead and just put him wherever for now. And this guy, I think it was 20 that I needed, is just quick and easy like that. It's going to churn my timber into lumber. Now I've got enough for the smithing station. Oh, I only needed 10. Okay, so smithing station, check. We can put that guy down, and now I'm going to be able to craft these metal tools. Unfortunately, I just used up all of my metal. Only got 7 left. I need 8 per tool. So I'm going to go out and get some more ore, and I'll be right back. Now, let's look at the difference of this guy has a quarrying strength of 6 and a speed of 2, whereas the stone that we were using was only 1 and 2.5. So this is going to be a big improvement. We'll see my base of 1 to 3 goes up to 7 and 2. Big difference. Per swing I'm already getting 6, and it's a lot faster, and the +4 strong hit is going to be +4 on top of that 7. So it's going to be a lot easier to get stone and ore, whatever you need now. So what I want to do is go out and get enough metal so that I can create some heavy armor. So I'm out here mining ore. The sun is going down, and I'm a bit away from where I started. I'm starting to get a little scared, so I'm going to use the recall ability here. There we are, plain and simple. Travel is really not meant to be difficult. Once you have got somewhere, getting back is the easy part. Getting out there isn't always as easy. So what we're looking at is now real recipes. These aren't simple recipes like the stone tools that we were making. These are full recipes that are going to let us adjust their level, the tier, the rarity. We can set up the colors however we want. And what level is going to do, you'll see armor is basically what we're concerned about. The more I'm actually only smithing level 1, so I can only go up to level 1. But you can see that the more levels I give, the more armor I'm going to get. However, what this means also is that I'm going to need to be level 1 in order to wear this. And right now I'm only level 0, so I'm going to go ahead and leave that at 0. Tier is the resource difficulty. Basically, if I was out at 5 kilometers, we'd start getting tier 1 resources. If I was out at 10 kilometers, we'd start getting tier 2 resources. and so on and so forth. And those have an even bigger effect on the stats. Rarity actually has a percent-based statistical gain, so it's not a ton at level 0, tier 0, but later on it becomes very important. And it also gives us more enchanting slots, which is where we can add gems and things into our weapons and armor to give us better stats. We already did get some. I got some uncommon ore and a rare ore and some stone and things here while I was out harvesting, but I would need 15, 10, or 20 to be able to actually make anything. Okay, so I'm going to craft one each of these, and let's go ahead and make our jacket kind of fancy. I'm going to want to put these on in the adventuring tab, and we're going to see that my armor is going to start going up. Oops. And boots. Alright, so now I've got some basic armor on. I'm up to 15.2, which is pretty horrible, but that will certainly keep us alive at this low level. I'm also going to create a torch. Put him on here, turn him on. And that's just going to give me a basic light source running around out here. So, now I'm also going to want to create a weapon. I'm going to turn smithing and weapons on. I'm going to make a short sword. Again, all I've got is level 0, tier 0 common, unfortunately, but it's still better than nothing. You see my damage has gone up above 1. Now, before we start out adventuring, you can actually see the exclamation point up here in the corner of the screen telling me that I have 6 unspent adventuring points, 6 unspent attribute points, and 1 unspent mining points. So let's go ahead and spend those. I'm obviously making sort of a warrior build, so I'm going to go ahead and take strike, which is going to be 120% physical damage, so whatever my basic attack would be, plus 20.5%. It's going to cost a little bit of energy, and it's going to have a bit of a cooldown. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 points into that. And I'm also going to use Stomp, which is an AoE attack, in case I get more than one guy on me. And definitely I want to have Heal. Heal is just hands down a really good skill to have. And again, there aren't more skills in these trees yet, but the way that these are intended to go is that when you put 8 points in here, the next tier unlocks. But you can choose where you want your points to go. They go anywhere. And actually there's a lot more planned for this. I'm sorry it's not in yet. I've got a bit of junk on me that I don't really like, so I would like to get this off of me. I'm going to want to make a woodworking storage chest. I'm going to need 15 lumber for that. I've got 10 on me. So if I cut up another 5, I can make a storage chest, and I can color these as well. Just whatever for now. And my inventory is actually currently quite limited because I don't have a backpack. Would be nice to have a backpack. So let's go see if we can't find ourselves some leather. I seem to have found pig paradise. I can see a lot of pigs on screen right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take one of these guys down. In combat, you're going to want to use the crosshair. You see that white dot that's moving around. That's actually what you need to use to aim. You can't just have them in front of you and be looking up at the sky. You want to actually be looking at them. There, I leveled up skinning. Okay, and I got a bunch of leather and raw meat off of that. So now I'm going to be able to make a backpack. Unfortunately, only tier 0, but still a lot better than nothing. This is going to give me an extra 5 inventory slots. Tier 2 would give me another 2, and so on and so forth. I think now what we want to do is get started on a base. So I'm going to go out and collect a bunch of stone and timber, and then we can get started. Looks like I got about 555, and I'm actually now up to logging level 4, and I can one-shot most of these trees for about 40 timber. So once you get a couple levels, very easy. So this is a nice flat area out here. What I'm going to do is just hit B to bring up the building interface. I can also hit tab to go into the main menu and click building. Now these question marks you definitely want to check out if you don't know what you're doing. They give a quick little explanation of what each area does. Basically this is where we start, and then we're going to go down, sort of like reading a book, down and then to the right. Right now we want to select the new area. I can use Q and E to raise and lower the selection. So I'm going to keep it above the grass here. And I went out and got a bunch of timber, so I'm going to be using timber. I'm going to go ahead and just call this my house. I can use tier and rarity if I want to. Don't have any on me right now. So what I've done right now, and actually what I'm doing here, is holding down the right mouse button to look around, and I can move around while I'm holding the right mouse button down. Otherwise, when I'm not holding the right mouse button down, I'm going to be able to use W, A, S, and D to move this dummy box around. This is what I call the aim box. Or we can use positioning buttons here. If you get lost, recenter will bring it back onto you. We can go up, we can go down, again with the Q and the E. And if, for example, we had something like steps selected, we could use Z and X to rotate that, or the rotate buttons here. So once we've got an area that we want to build in, we want to get what part we want to build selected. So for example, right now I'm looking at wood steps, which is the centerpiece. If I were looking at north, east, south, or west, these are edge pieces. And so you'll see the recipe list changes here. Wood doorways, wood triangle, wood wall, low wood wall, etc., etc. Floor would be floor pieces, of course, or foundations. So I'm actually going to build a bunch more foundations. And what I'm doing here is just using the arrow keys and hitting spacebar. Spacebar is the construct button. So if I were to do this using the buttons, it would be construct to the right, construct to the right. And I'm just doing that by hitting space, D, space, D, space. And I can do that very quickly, and in many cases without even looking, to create a building very fast. Let's do a window and a doorway and another window. Let's add door to the door, shutters to the windows. So again, B and select. And now you'll see that the box has turned to blue. If I were outside, red means I can't. There's something in the way. Green means I could go ahead and build here. But this actually isn't what I want to do. This is going to start a brand new structure. I don't want to do that. I want to add on to my house. So I'm going to get this blue box, and it's actually going to select my house. So now I can continue adding on to this. Okay, the sun has come back up. I've got a decent little starter base going here. I'm going to want to craft a stone cutting station so that I can create a enchanting table. And using my enchanting table, I'm going to use the gem that I found while I was out mining and enchant my short sword. Right now there are only 10 enchantments, but we're hoping to get a lot more in here in the next few weeks now that the new biomes are in and we are starting to get more plants and animals in. For now I'm going to use the citrine that I looted to enchant my short sword with agility. It's only got one slot free, and this is actually going under some changes right now, but basically where it's at right now is the higher the rarity of the gem, the more slots it takes up. We're going to do away with that though and just make rare gems better, and it lets you put one gem per slot. But so this is the lowest level enchant possible. Again, I'm enchanting level 0, so I can't even make this level 1. I don't have better resources, so this is only giving me a little bit of agility, but still better than nothing. That's going to give me a little bonus to my dodge and speed and this and that. So we can see that I've got that on here, agility level 0, tier 0, and it's white, so that means it's common. So you can tell exactly what's on your equipment. And now we could go out and adventure a bit. What I'm actually going to do though is I'm going to upgrade my Solace. Now Solaces have quite a few things that they can do with them. The main purpose is teleportation. So right now I'm at world 0. Some players have reached 1,000 kilometers. You can get very far out in the world. There's no boundaries. You can go any direction. There's some mountains over there I'd like to go climb just because I like to. So on and so forth. If I get out somewhere, I put a new Solace down, I'm going to be able to teleport back and forth freely using the travel menu here between those two Solaces. So it can be a bit of an adventure to get out there. There's some more mountains over there too, a little foggy. But once you're out there, it's very easy to travel back and forth. Another thing that Solaces can be used for is, we already saw, storage. You can put raw materials right in here. It's showing that it knows that I've got timber, so I can go ahead and just dump all of that in here. And what that does is different from a chest. No matter where I am, if there's a Solace nearby, I can access that via the storage. and I can upgrade this storage. Every Solace that I put down is going to give me more, and every time I upgrade the level I'm going to get some bonus, or I can actually directly upgrade the storage here. I can't actually at level 1, and I can't do really any of this right now because I don't have any light. So what I would like to do is go get some light. We can see here in the adventuring tab I've got 0. How do you get light? The best way is to fight. Now I should be able to take this guy on just fine. I'm just using my basic attack and my strike skill. And I got 1 light from that, you can see here. If we bring up the chat window, actually, we can see he was level 0.62, and he gave me 1 experience because I am level 0. He also gave me a little bit of stone. An even better way would be to clear one of these. This is called a monolith. Hello, cabbage. I see that. This is a cabbage. There are cabbages and carrots you can find out in the world. I also had that pig meat earlier. You gotta watch your food and water levels here. Vegetables are great because they give both, so that's a good spot there. So this monolith has 2 guards, so I'm going to use my stomp ability. I'm going to hit both of them, and again, these guys are as weak as they come, so they're only level 0.5. I'm going to have no trouble taking these guys down now that I've got metal weapons on. I got 1 light for the first guy, 1 light for the second guy, 1 light for the third guy. I also got 1 light for clearing the monolith. I'm going to take their stone, like I didn't have any. And here on the monolith, now that I've cleared it, that's right, they're also called tiers, or tear. There we go, I got a gem. These guys will very often drop gems. Sometimes uncommon, because sometimes they will have a champion with them. Let's go and take a look at that monolith over there. Okay, I think that this guy here is a champion. He looks pretty big. And there, yeah, he hit me pretty good. And you see he's got a lot more hit points. Because this guy had a champion, these are actually now uncommon. So we saw that I put a common agility enchant on my short sword. Now I would be able to actually put an uncommon agility enchant onto one of my items. So that's great. And the other, even better source of experience and gems is going to be a tower. So I'm going to go see if I can find a tower. Alright, I did find a tower not far out. These guys are going to be a little stronger though. Maybe I'll take this guy down first. Okay, yeah, they're pretty strong. I might not be able to clear this. I was actually able to take this guy down, which is cool. He dropped an essence of stone. It's nice. But there's going to be a whole bunch more of them, and that guy might even be a champion himself. No, I think these are normal guys. I know that I can just use my recall ability here to escape the fight. So what I'm going to do is just run up to the top and show you the boss that's up there. And he's actually a hero. So what that means is that the tower is going to have rare, possibly even elite gems for me to loot. So I'm just going to go take a look at those. And I can't open the box until I finish this guy. You can't just run up here and take the stuff. And he's going to be tough for me at this level, especially with a bunch of guys on me. So I'm going to hit 0. Oh, I don't have enough mana. I used up all my mana. I'm going to have to run. These guys are not going to be able to get me. Okay. Well, let's go get a stronger character. Okay, I'm back in the same world, but with a different character. Characters and worlds are actually independent of one another. So I can bring multiple characters into the same world. I have access to the same facilities and items and whatnot. And with this character, I am level 51, so I'm going to go ahead and travel deeper into the wilds. Okay, I've teleported out. I'm at 50.4 kilometers right now, and the reason I'm out here is to show you these. This is a uncommon tree. He's tier 9, and I don't think I have good tools, actually. My tools are only tier 5, so I'm not gonna be able to hit this guy very well. But you can see that every swing that I make is actually giving me uncommon timber. That's because the whole tree himself is uncommon. And not just uncommon. Let's see if I can find an even better one. So on my screen right now, I can actually see quite a few different rare resource nodes. There's green tree over here. This looks like a green stalk over here. This is a blue or a rare stalk over here. This looks like a green stone. There's something rare over here, and I actually saw something sparkle red for just a second over here. So I'm going to go see what that is. And here we have it. This is a tier 10 legendary stock. This is the most rare thing in the game. Glad I found one for this video. This is going to be great for me to make some armor with. This is what we need for cloth. And it just so happens that I have really bad tools on right now. I have not leveled up my reaping on this character. This is just a test character. But this is what you're looking for out in the world. So, how do we find this without just running around aimlessly? Let's do that now. Okay, we're not far from where we just were. There's a couple towers out here. There's actually quite a few towers if we look on the map. But this is kind of a nice lakeside spot here, I think. So I'm going to clear this tower, and what that's going to do is it's going to give me control of the tower. Okay, so I cleared this tower. Storm going on outside, but this guy is chock full of, I got tier 10 rare amethyst, emerald, some hide, and some stone. Awesome. But now what this has done for me is this is now my tower. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Lakeside Base. Construct. Unfortunately, I can't see anything around here at night, but really what I want to do is set up a Solace. So now that I've taken over this tower, and I can build on it, I'm going to go ahead and expand off of it a bit. So I'm going to place a new Solace here. Now, it's just Solace number 3 right now. It's the base, and I can travel back and forth freely between where I started and all the way back out here now, anytime that I want. But what I really want to do is I want to upgrade this guy. I want to give him population so that I can start to build a town. Right now the town is population status camp 0 out of 0 possible. So that means that I can't place any of these buildings. The population limit has already been reached. Now, if I go ahead and I try to upgrade this, it's going to tell me this upgrade will trigger a surge of demons who may wish to build obelisks for static defenses. So if I ignore that and I just click upgrade, we see that demons are going to start coming at me. I'm actually strong enough to take these guys down if I can catch them all. Because they are strong enough that they're just going to one-shot the Solace if they get to it. But they didn't, so we have success. I can push T to bring back up that town status window, and we are now an outpost. We've got a maximum of 5 population. That's going to go ahead and let me construct a new building. It's cool. Now I can upgrade the power, and let's see what that does. If I open up the building and I do show power, see, I just upgraded it right now. It was actually smaller than this before. This is the range that I can place town buildings within. Okay, so now we've upgraded our population. So I'm going to construct a, let's see, what were we? It was a stock, I believe. I've got tier 6 wood on me. And I can use Q and E to bring this up. I'm going to bring them up above the grass. And I'll just put them down there. That cost me 200 timber. And now I've got a Reaper with little T-Rex arms. These guys are randomly generated. This guy's name is Randall. And what I want him to do for me is this resource scanning. If I find him an essence of plant, he can upgrade the local Solace to scan for rare stocks in the area for me. Level 1 being 500 meters, and so on and so forth. I don't have a tier 10 essence of plant on me, so let's go find one. Okay, so I'm out here looking for a essence of plant, and there's 2 ways that I can get that. One is to just harvest a bunch of stalks. They're all over the place. Of course, I want tier 10 is what I'm looking for, because that's where I built my Reaper that's going to be scanning for resources for me. I built him in tier 10 space, so I need a tier 10 stock. The other way is if I can find an uncommon stock, or rare or elite or legendary, I can bring up the radio menu by clicking Shift and F and just do harvest essence. Now this is actually going to destroy him completely, so if I have already harvested him once or twice, it's not going to let me do this. But if he's a brand new guy, I can do that, and it just gives me a guaranteed essence of plant. I wouldn't recommend doing that on rare or elite or legendary resources, because again, it'll destroy it. But uncommon stocks, resources aren't that difficult to find. So let's bring that back to our guy now. Okay, so I'm back at Randall. I'm going to give him my essence of plant, and now if I look at the map, we can see that there's this scan range now for stocks. I can turn that on and off. For example, I can see that there is a rare stock somewhere nearby. What I actually want to do though is go and pick up one of these uncommons to get more essences so that I can upgrade him even further. And I'm going to use them to upgrade resource scanning further, all the way up to level 4. So we're now at a 4-kilometer radius for scanning. And here we can see this is that legendary stock that I whacked a bit earlier. That's a real lucky find there. This isn't going to unlock places that we haven't been yet. So we're going to want to go out and explore these areas and see if we can find some more legendary or elite cloth. Of course, this is only the Reaper that we have built. There's also the Hunter, the Miner, the Logger, and the Quarrier here available in the town building list. So depending on who you are, what it is you're looking for, that's definitely the way to go about finding rare materials.